Hey fellas, what's going on? It's Ajax here from Rattlecan Shenanigans with a final reveal video for the Revell 41 Chevy pickup truck. I actually finished this kit a couple of weeks ago, but it was a birthday gift for my dad, and as such, given the fact that I didn't finish it until the day of his birthday, I ran out of time and wasn't able to make a video. Luckily, my dad is familiar with what we do here. He's watched my videos and a few of the other videos out there. Knows that we do this crazy model thing. Really enjoys it. So he actually let me use the kit or display the kit here for the final reveal video, and I appreciate that. So with no further ado, let me stop rambling and showcase his birthday gift. All right, there it is. Now, this is actually the 5th kit that I've finished up this year. And give me a second to zoom in, try and get the lighting a little bit better for you guys, because it's a bit dark around these parts. But yeah, this is kit number 5 on the year. It is a two-tone kit with Tester's one-coat lacquer. Use the flaming orange for the cab, and the fenders and whatnot are root beer. I actually wanted to go with something that was close to the look of box stock with some minor modifications. So I switched the black on the box to this root beer, and I also wanted to do away with a lot of the chrome, mainly because when I first put the kit together with the custom wheels on it, the chrome looked really out of place. So I ditched the chrome and actually de-chromed the bumpers and the front grille as well. I had briefly considered going in and putting the hubcaps on the car as well, but after looking at it, I liked the just the orange steelies and the way they came together on the kit. You'll notice that the kit is actually sitting a bit lower than its stock stance, and that was entirely intentional. I used the suspension from the 50 Ford F1 pickup that I built with my dad. Kind of a waste not, want not scenario there. We did the custom build version of that truck and still had the stock parts left for the suspension. And so using those in place of the stock 41 Chevy suspension was actually able to lower the rig quite a bit. You can see there was a little bit of cutting and whatnot involved, but was basically able to adapt the rear axle and the front end to fit on the chassis with no real major surgery, and was, like I said, able to achieve this stance. My goal here was two things. Wanted to get it to sit lower, and I also wanted to make sure that the wheels didn't touch the inside of the fenders, and the underbody, or the chassis didn't scrape the ground. And I was successful on both counts. The truck sits correctly and doesn't drag or scrape on the ground. It has the slightest of rakes in the rear end. The lighting here actually makes it look like the front end is sitting a lot lower than the rear end. But part of that is that the front wheels are a little bit closer in than the rear suspension. Real quick, let me bring up the camera and give you a shot of the engine bay here. It was wired as per usual, and used the chrome parts from the kit. It came out pretty good. Overall, Dad was quite happy with his birthday gift, and happy with the way everything came together. Looks really good. Now that this one's out of the way, the main thing I've been working on the bench at this point is the rat rod build. I've got the 32 out of the plastic, and I've got it soaked, and got several pieces of chrome stripped, and I'm cutting and hacking and probably destroying my way through a decent rat rod build. Just going through the preliminaries, and I'll actually end up shooting a video later on to showcase my progress there. But I wanted to make sure that I got a final video up for the 41 Chevy here, so that it wasn't MIA on my list of kits, because I know I'd mentioned it after I showcased the GTO. Another thing I plan on doing, which will probably happen sometime here after we wrap up the rat rod build, is showcasing a couple of builds that I completed before I was making videos, just to kind of give a glimpse of where I was at and where I've come to this point, as far as like getting comfortable with making modifications, different building techniques, etc., etc. So I've got a couple other kits that I've built. One's actually on my page. If you go look, you'll see I've got a 62 Bel Air hardtop on my YouTube page there, and I haven't shown that one before, but I will go and show that one off. And I've also got a 51 Chevy Bel Air, the AMT kit there, and I'll put together a video for that one here shortly as well. As far as the other things I've got on the bench go, there's one other thing that sometime here in the future will be showcased. And give me a second here to pull it out of the stash. It'll be this. This is the Monogram 64 Pontiac GTO, and I got this in a trade from Rick Zink, one of our community members. Traded him across the board for a 68 Charger, I believe it was. And while I've already built the Polar Lights kit, I haven't had a chance to build the Monogram kit yet. I have looked at this one. It's older kit, molded in red, and like putting the two side by side, even though this is a 24th scale and the Polar Lights was a 25th scale, the two vehicles match up pretty well, like size-wise. It's almost indistinguishable. So I want to eventually get my hands on this, build it up, and then I'll go back and compare and contrast the differences between the two kits for you guys. One other thing, and I don't have it available right in front of me right now, but the I believe it was Tyler the Modeler and Ray 1965 are doing a buddy build with the Ford Mustang. And while I not necessarily like invited to the buddy build, I'm going to totally encroach and build a Mustang of my own. I have the kit, and I have a can of this Tamiya Brilliant Blue paint, and it's just calling out to me to like build myself a Brilliant Blue Mustang with this here rattle can. So that bit of rattle can shenanigans will be taking place here sometime after we get on the other side of the rat rod build. So enough with my rambling. You guys have seen the 41. You guys have been given the update on what I've got coming. I've got other videos to shoot, so I'm going to wrap this one up and wish you guys a pleasant rest of the evening. All right? Peace.